You know, there's something kind of magical about doing things quietly. Like, really just putting your head down, staying in your lane, and getting stuff done without needing to broadcast every move to the world. We live in this time where everyone's constantly posting, sharing, tweeting, snapping, whatever. And it's like, if you don't show it, did it even happen? But the truth is, not everything needs to be loud. Some of the most powerful growth, it happens in silence. Quiet determination, man, that's a different kind of strength. It's not flashy. It's not attention-seeking. It's not about proving anything to anyone in the moment. It's just about deciding, hey, I'm gonna do this. I don't care if anybody claps. I don't need the likes or the validation. I just know what I'm working toward. And that kind of mindset, it's rare. Because let's be honest, it's easy to get discouraged when nobody's watching. When you're putting in the hours, grinding behind the scenes, and it feels like no one even notices. But that's the whole point. You're not doing it for them. You're doing it for you. And the wild part is, that silence, that stillness, it protects you, keeps you focused. You don't get caught up in comparison or pressure or trying to impress people who don't even matter in the long run. You just keep showing up. Every single day. No announcement. No applause. Just progress. Quiet determination is like planting seeds. You're out there, working the soil, watering, making sure the roots are strong, even if no one sees anything sprouting yet. But you know something's growing. And when it finally breaks through the surface, phew, that's the moment. That's when people are like, whoa, where did that come from? And you'll smile, because you'll know, it didn't just happen. You built that. You earned it. In the silence. With every small decision to keep going. Every quiet yes to yourself. So yeah, loud can be fun. Loud gets attention. But quiet gets things done. That's the power of quiet determination. It's steady. It's real. And when it finally speaks, it doesn't whisper. It roars. You know, there's this thing people do, where they talk a lot about what they're gonna do. Like, I'm gonna start this business. Or, just wait, I'm about to blow up. Or, one day, I'll be the best at this or that. And don't get me wrong, believing in yourself? That's important. Speaking things into existence. Totally valid. But at some point, like, the talk has to stop, and the work has to begin. And what I've learned, what I really believe, is that the loudest voice in the room doesn't always win. In fact, most of the time. It's the quiet ones, the focused ones, the ones who aren't saying much because they're too busy building something. That's who ends up surprising everybody. Because here's the thing, when your work is solid, when you've put in the time, the sweat, the effort, you don't need to say a word. Your results will walk in the room before you do. It's like, imagine someone who says, I'm the best. Okay, cool, but what have you done? What have you built? What have you proven? Because when your work speaks, it's not hype. It's evidence. It's undeniable. And there's just something so powerful about letting people see what you've accomplished instead of trying to explain it or convince them. It's like, you don't have to go around telling everyone how smart you are, or how talented, or how hard you've been grinding. They'll see it. They'll feel it. The quality of your work, the way you carry yourself, it says everything. Think about the people you admire most. The ones who just move differently. They're not bragging every 5 minutes or posting every little thing they're doing. They're just showing up, staying consistent, and letting the results do the talking. And honestly, that kind of energy, it's powerful, it's respectable, and it's sustainable. Because when you're focused on doing the actual work, not just talking about it, you grow. You get better. You're not wasting time trying to convince people. You're becoming undeniable. There's nothing more convincing than someone who keeps showing up, improving, delivering, no matter what. So yeah, talk if you want. Share the journey, celebrate the wins. But never forget, your work is your voice. Your work is your reputation. It's your proof. Let that speak for you. Let that be the mic drop. You know, silence doesn't get enough credit. Like, we act like being quiet means we're not doing enough, or like we're missing out on something. But honestly, silence is underrated. Big time. Because when you're quiet, intentionally quiet, you start to realize just how much noise is out there. And how much of it isn't actually helping you. There's always something trying to pull your attention. Notifications, opinions, comparisons, drama, trends. It's like the world is constantly trying to wave shiny things in front of your face just to get you to stop what you're doing and, I don't know, scroll for another hour or doubt yourself or chase something that isn't even your goal. But silence, real, intentional silence, protects you from all that. When you stop responding to everything, when you stop broadcasting every move or reacting to every distraction, you create space. Like, actual mental space to breathe, to focus, to get clear on what really matters. You're not running around trying to prove anything. You're not trying to outshine anybody. You're just doing you, in your own lane, at your own pace. And the best part? You start hearing your own voice again. Because when everything's loud, when everyone's trying to be seen and heard all the time, it's easy to lose track of your own thoughts. But silence brings you back to center. It's like putting noise-canceling headphones on your soul. People might wonder why you're so low-key, why you're not showing off or explaining every little thing you're working on. But what they don't see is that while they're out there chasing attention, you're building discipline. You're sharpening your skills. You're protecting your energy. Distractions are sneaky too. Sometimes they look like opportunities, or like people who seem supportive but actually just want to know your next move so they can copy or criticize it. But when you keep things quiet, when you don't feed into the noise, you stay in control. You're not out here explaining yourself. You're not getting sidetracked by stuff that doesn't serve your growth. Silence isn't weakness. It's strategy. It's strength. It's choosing to keep your peace over proving your point. And yeah, it might feel a little lonely sometimes, or even boring, but that's just because you've stepped out of the chaos. And that's where real focus lives. That's where the magic happens. So yeah, let them wonder. Let them talk. Let them scroll. You. Stay grounded. Stay quiet. Stay locked in. Because silence doesn't just keep distractions out, it keeps your vision clear. Okay, real talk. Hype is fun. Like, who doesn't love a good big moment, or that feeling when everyone's hyping you up, cheering you on, sharing your stuff, telling you how amazing you are? It feels good. It really does. But here's the thing, and I say this with love, hype doesn't last. It's loud, yeah, but it's also temporary. What really sticks? What really matters in the long run? Consistency. 100%. Every time. Because being great once? Cool. Anyone can have a lucky break, a viral moment, or one really amazing day. But showing up every day, especially when no one's clapping, especially when it's hard or boring or just not exciting anymore, that's where the real difference is made. Consistency is like proof. It shows you're not just talking about it, you're living it. You're in it for the long haul. You're not chasing a moment. You're building something real. And yeah, it's not glamorous. There's no spotlight on day 43 of doing the same routine, or showing up to that practice, or writing that page, or working on that idea when you're tired and no one's watching. But that's the part people don't see when they look at someone successful. They see the outcome, the result, the wow moment. But what got them there? Boring, everyday consistency. That's what wins. That's what lasts. And the truth is, when you stay consistent, your results start to speak louder than any hype ever could. You don't have to go around convincing people you're good. They'll see it. You will build trust. People will know, oh, they show up. Every time. No matter what. That kind of reputation. Way more valuable than hype. Hype fades. Hype is noisy and dramatic and fast. But consistency. It's quiet, it's steady, and it's undeniable. And here's another thing. When you're consistent, you build confidence. You don't need validation, because you've proven to yourself that you can show up. Even on the hard days. Even when it's inconvenient. That's powerful. So don't worry if your journey isn't flashy. Don't stress if your progress feels slow, or if nobody's hyping you up right now. If you're showing up, if you're putting in the work, step by step, you're already winning. You're laying the foundation that hype could never build. Consistency doesn't need attention to grow. It just needs commitment. So yeah, let the hype come and go. You. Keep showing up. Keep doing the work. Because in the end, consistency makes the loudest noise of all. You ever notice how the best moments in life kinda sneak up on people? Like those stories where someone just pops out of nowhere and everyone's like, wait, where did they come from? Yeah, that's the power of surprise. And it's not just fun, it's strategic. Because, you know, when you're moving in silence, when you're just out here putting in the work quietly, not broadcasting every move, you're building. You're getting stronger, smarter, more prepared. And the whole time, the world's kinda sleeping on you. They're not watching too closely, which is actually a blessing, because it gives you room to grow without pressure or judgment or outside noise messing with your focus. And then, bam, you show up. You launch the business. You release the project. You win the award. You level up so hard that people are shook. And it's not because you weren't working this whole time. It's because you weren't loud about it. You were focused. You stayed quiet. On purpose. That's the strategy. See, not everyone needs to know your next move. Sometimes, the smartest thing you can do is not tell anyone what you're working on. Because let's be honest, not everybody is rooting for you. Some folks low-key want you to fail. Others just don't understand your vision. And when too many voices get involved, you start doubting yourself, second-guessing, maybe even changing course just to please other people. But when you keep it low-key, When you let your actions do the talking after you've already done the work. You protect your peace. You protect your progress. And you gain the upper hand. Because no one can block or copy what they don't see coming. It's like chess, right? You don't tell your opponent, hey, I'm about to take your queen in 3 moves. Nah, you make your moves in silence, and then, checkmate. That's the game. And honestly, there's something really satisfying about people underestimating you. Not because you want revenge or anything, but because there's a kind of beauty in proving people wrong just by being excellent. No drama. No flexing. Just straight-up results that speak louder than any comeback ever could. So yeah, surprise them. Not to be petty, but to be smart. Let the doubters doubt. Let the noise keep buzzing around. You just stay focused, stay grounded, and when the time's right, deliver. That moment, when they realize what you've been building all along. Phew, that moment's gold. So remember, the element of surprise? It's not just fun. It's a power move. Use it well. You know, people love to talk about success like it's all smooth sailing. Like, you just wake up one day, chase your dreams, and boom, everything falls into place. But honestly, that's not how it works. Not even close. The real ones, the people who've actually built something meaningful, they'll tell you straight up, they had to walk through fire to get there. And not just once. Over and over again. Because adversity, that's not a detour. It's part of the path. And as uncomfortable as it is, as unfair or exhausting or painful as it can feel sometimes, it builds you. It sharpens you. It strengthens that fire inside you that says, I'm not giving up. Not now. Not ever. You don't really know how strong you are until you hit a wall, right? Like when the plan falls apart, or someone you trusted lets you down, or things just don't go the way you thought they would. And in those moments, it's so easy to want to quit. So easy to say, maybe this isn't for me. But that's the test. That's where the fire either dies out, or burns brighter. And here's the thing. Adversity isn't always loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's just the quiet battle you're fighting in your head. The self-doubt. The imposter syndrome. The, what if I fail? Thoughts. But even that can fuel you, if you let it. It's like, every challenge, every setback, every no you didn't want to hear, it's like with being thrown onto your fire. It hurts going in, sure, but it only makes the flame hotter, stronger, brighter. And when you've been through stuff, like, really been through it, you start to move different. You don't panic when things get tough because you know what you've already survived. You're like, okay, I've been here before. I've felt worse. I'm still standing. That kind of strength. You can't fake that. You earn it. So yeah, adversity sucks in the moment. No denying that. But it also teaches you things that nothing else can. It teaches you grit, patience, humility, perspective. It teaches you how to keep going when no one's clapping for you, when no one's even looking. That's the fire. That's the part they don't see, but it's the part that makes you unstoppable. So if you're going through it right now, first of all, you're not alone. And second, don't be afraid of the fire. Let it shape you. Let it strengthen you. Let it fuel you so that when your moment comes, and it will, you're not just ready, you're on fire. Because adversity doesn't break you. It builds you. And that's your secret weapon. So, here's the thing. You've been working. You've been grinding behind the scenes, staying quiet, staying focused, doing all the things people don't see. And one day, maybe sooner than you think, you're gonna arrive. Like really arrive. That moment you've been building toward, it's gonna show up. And when it does, you better walk in like you belong there. Because you do. There's this thing a lot of people do when they finally hit a goal or reach a new level. They shrink. They second guess. They start thinking, do I deserve this? Or, what if I mess it up? And listen, that's normal. That little voice of self-doubt, we all hear it sometimes. But when you've done the work, and I mean the real, gritty, not glamorous, no one was watching work, you don't owe anyone an apology for showing up in your full power. You don't need to justify why you're there. You don't need to explain how you got there. You just need to be there. Fully. Unapologetically. Like, yep, I earned this. Because here's the truth. Preparation meets opportunity, and that's what creates those overnight success moments everyone loves to talk about. But you and I both know, it wasn't overnight. It was years in the making. It was 1,000 tiny decisions that no one saw. It was rejection. It was tears. It was discipline. It was getting back up when you didn't feel like it. So when you finally step into that room, or hit that milestone, or start living the dream you've been praying for, own it. Don't play small. Don't wait for permission. Don't dull your light just because it might make someone else uncomfortable. Walk in fully. Speak with confidence. Take up space. Be proud of what you've built. Because you didn't come all this way just to whisper. And look, that doesn't mean you have to be arrogant or loud or flashy. No. That's not what showing up fully means. It means you show up grounded, clear, confident. It means you trust your voice, your vision, your journey. It means you understand that you're ready. Not because the world said so, but because you said so. And people will feel that. They'll feel your energy. They'll sense that quiet fire behind your smile. That's the kind of presence that shifts the room. So when you arrive, after all the silence, all the building, all the work, arrive fully. Not halfway. Not hiding. Not hoping someone else validates you. Just fully. As you. Because that version of you, that's the one the world's been waiting for, so listen. At the end of the day, you don't need to scream your dreams from the rooftops for them to be real. You don't need to prove anything to anybody while you're still becoming. Just keep your head down, do the work, stay grounded, and let time reveal what you've been building in the dark. Because there's something powerful, almost unstoppable, about a person who works in silence, who protects their peace, blocks out the noise, and stays consistent no matter what. That kind of person. When they show up, they shock the room. Not with arrogance, but with undeniable, unshakable results. Let your work be the loudest thing about you. Let the results speak before your mouth ever has to. Let your silence keep you focused, and your success do all the talking later. And when your moment comes, and it will, walk in like you were meant to be there. Because if you've done the work in private, if you've fought through the setbacks, stayed consistent, and kept that fire burning through the toughest moments, then you don't owe the world an explanation. Just show